What's going on, guys? Tracomaster, welcome back to another video. And do you remember the 301 views thing on YouTube? Yeah, not on my videos. Anyhow, today I'm going to talk about roaming in Rainbow Six Siege because I've seen a lot, well actually a ton of roamers since the last patch. And I've seen some good ones, but a lot of bad ones as well, even horrible ones. But no worries, because I am here to help you out. And I'm going to give you tips and tricks and things you should do and shouldn't do while you are roaming. Here are some general and specific tips for roaming in Rainbow Six Siege. First off, let's clear things up. You have to know what you can and cannot do. Do not roam if you don't know the map, the game, or the players. Now, what I mean with that is you have to know the map you're playing and how it flows in that certain game mode. Also, you should be able to handle multiple players at once. This means if you suddenly meet 2, 3 or more players, you should be able to know what you should do best. I mean, everyone makes mistakes, I'm not perfect, but you have to know your gun, have to know what you can do, have to know the map, how it flows, and please don't be this guy.
Ze komen hier zo meteen wel.
Nee, ze zijn allemaal op beneden.
Ze zijn allemaal onder, share.
Ze zijn allemaal
Share,
onder.
ga naar de hostage, share. Share. Share.
Ze komen daar hoor, ik zweer het. Ik zweer het. Mensen hier zijn met zijn tinfoil hat.
Alright, second up, certain classes are better for roaming than others. As such, the classes go yes, no, yes, no, yes, yes, no, yes, yeah, yeah, and obviously Caveira, but I haven't unlocked that operator yet, but she's clearly made for roaming. Keep in mind that your mileage on this may vary. I made this sectioning because of several factors, including the weapons they have at their disposal, team gadgets, armor, and speed. Now, more armor is slower, and if you're slower, you're also louder, or if you have more armor, you're also louder. Third point is probably the most important one. Help your team. Use your reinforcements, set down your shields, your barbed wire, your gadgets your operator has at his or her disposal. Because otherwise, mate, you're not gonna make any friends, trust me. Now the next thing is, while choosing your class, watch out for whatever your teammates do and watch out what game mode you're playing on what map. If it's bomb or secure area, the objective is not as important as with hostage. Because with hostage, you just have to get out with hostage and you've won basically, but you can also kill the hostage, so you can't just spam fuse into the room where the hostage is. So again, remember that if the enemy has the hostage, they've probably won, and you've probably lost. So they have about 3.5 minutes to get into the hostage room, but once they have captured it, you have under a minute to get inside there and kill everyone. It's kind of impossible. When you spawn, you also have to observe what your teammates do. Do they immediately wander off? Like, demand them to place down their reinforcements to do everything they can for their team. And maybe not stay right on the objective, but very close to it. If everyone else roams. Wins are more important than your KD, and sadly sometimes it can be very not rewarding to stay with the objective, but be the smart player and stay with the objective, play it, defend it, and you will be rewarded with a win, which is in my mind more important than your KD. Now another point is sound, and this is a big one. Sound, communication, and intel. Now this game differs from CSGO in my mind hugely in that intel plays a huge role. You can deny intel but also gather it. Now cameras and drones obviously play a great role in this, and sound does so even more. You can hear enemies, you can hear what they're doing. And as such, you should always be sneaking when there's no reason to be running or walking. Now, if someone has spotted you, he already knows where you are, you can run for cover. But if you hear gunshots or EMP, you can walk or sprint as well, because those are loud as well, and enemies will be distracted. Just keep that in mind, and keep in mind that the enemy can also have headphones, and they can also hear you coming. But if you play with sound in this game, you can get some really nasty kills, actually. if you hear enemies communicate, I don't see this often enough that people communicate. And when you tell your teammates where enemies are and they communicate back, you can win a round. This really does make a difference. Again, gathering and denying intel is a huge part of this game, what sets it apart from CSGO. Now last but not least, keep an eye on the objective. How many teammates are there, and when it is time to go back? Again, do not be this guy. You can see he's 1 against 4 people, and he's just like, well, it's hostage, but I'm just gonna camp here because they're gonna come into this room, but they actually just grabbed the hostage. So
in his defense, he was an inexperienced player, but it's still worth mentioning, I think.
Another thing, remember that this game has lag compensation, and as such there is something like a peeker's advantage, where the peeker sees the sitting enemy first. So yeah, don't get peeked on, be an aggressive defender, but also keep in mind that time is on your side, and peeking may often be a bad idea. You kind of have to gather experience to see which is the best thing you can do in that particular situation. Those are all the general tips and tricks I have for you guys. As far as my favorite classes are concerned, those are Kapkan, Bandit, Rook, and Smoke. Kapkan may be loud and slow, and he may not have the best gun, but the trip mines, if you place them in random places around the house, they can be deadly because enemies just don't pay attention. If you just place a trip mine randomly and don't barricade the door, enemies will just disregard it, and with the new patch, they will just walk over the trip mine and you get an easy kill. I have won rounds this way. With Bandit, it's a different story, because you have to wait until everything has been placed down by your teammates, such as barbed wire, shields, and reinforcements, until you can electrify them, because that is what I told you, do everything you can to help your team. After that, though, you are free to roam, and with Bandit C4 and MP7, you're a very, very great threat. His MP7 is great in my mind, and yeah, he's one of my most favorite operators. Moving on, we have Rook. You simply place down your armor. The first thing you do, you place your reinforcements and off you go. You're basically the fastest one out of the objective, and with his P90, you can take on multiple enemies, and that is why he's also one of my more favorite operators. Last up is Smoke. Now, I really like this operator because of his SMG-11. The attackers have the long-range weapons, and that is something you should use to your advantage as an attacker, because semi-auto shotguns are very, very powerful, but if attackers are over-rushing you, they can make mistakes, as you can see over here. Now, with Smoke, you have the SMG-11, it's a powerful pocket sniper, and I've done huge damage with it. So that is everything I have to say about roaming. Thank you so much for watching. If you have anything else you would like to share, then I would be more than glad to see it in the comments, so I can learn and everyone else can learn. And yeah, so thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed that, then I would be more than glad to welcome you back next time. And until then, I'll see you guys around. Bye.